Islam, 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 Moorish. Malik Yusuf Bey back with another one. And like I said today, we going to go over some of the prophecies by the Prophet Noble Gerard Lee, Assasalmilakum. And I'm going to go over some of the other literature from the Prophet that he left for Moors that's still lacking understanding, and new Moors that's coming in that's trying to learn what nationality is all about and why is it important to have and to claim. But before all that, you know how everything starts. So here we go. Face the east. Allah is the Father of the universe. Allah is the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector and my guide and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Noble Gerard Lee. Assasalmilakum. Islam. Alright. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders would be a severe consequence. We are for love, true peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings towards the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their car and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where the prophet found you. This is a holy and divine movement, founded by the Prophet Noble Gerard Lee, Assasalmilakum. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out a divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. Noble Gerard Lee, Assasalmilakum. To be proclaimed at every meeting. Islam. I am glad to know that I have a few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that thought it was only a joke and unreal, that thought I was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend on for their earthly salvation as American citizens. American citizens, not U.S. citizens, American citizens. They are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they may take charge of the situation. I have notified all of these things to you long ago in the past. It is through faithful Moors that attribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me in the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase your faithfulness to me, your prophet. I need finance and I need it badly. Never before have I needed finance so badly as I do at present, so I can shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my fame and nobility. But the nations of the world would not recognize the movement without I, the prophet, being head. It has been proven by my works which I have performed in the past few years. Prophet Noble Gerard Lee, Assasalmilakum. And last but not least, to the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam. This is instruction from your prophet Noble Gerard Lee, Assasalmilakum. Be faithful unto your forefathers' divine and national creed, that you will be blessed for your good deeds that you sow in the flesh. Allah is the one that judges the world, and his judgment is now on, but the weak can comprehend it not. The end of time is drawing near, so says Allah to his divine prophet, I Noble Gerard Lee, Assasalmilakum. And that's why many hearts have been turned to stone, and many have eyes to see but cannot see, ears to hear but cannot hear, lest they would be confounded of their sins. These are trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving. And they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you had a true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but would sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your prophet. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule him to the very lowest, and the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temples. Act accordingly, and Allah will bless you for your good work. Peace. Noble Drew Ali. Assasalmilakum. All right. So now, what I want to get into today, I'm going to start with some of the prophecies that the prophet had wrote, and some of them you could go check that they have been fulfilled, and some are being fulfilled as we speak. So I'm gonna flip the camera so people can see it for themselves. And it says, the first one, the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali told the Moors, I brought you everything it takes to save a nation. Take it and save yourself. When he said that, the Prophet was holding up a Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America and a questionnaire to show us the books we need to save ourselves. With those books, why those books is important, I'm going to go to the Quran because it's all in this book before I go back to the prophecies. All right, we're going to go right here. The divine, or this is chapter 45 of the Circle 7 Quran. The divine origin of the Asiatic nations. The fallen sons and daughters of the Asiatic nation of North America need to learn to love instead of hate, and know of their higher self and lower self. This is the uniting of the Holy Quran of Mecca. And see, Quran is spelled Koran, which means knowledge, ordinates, rhythm, astrology and astronomy, and nature. That's what Quran means. Of Mecca, for teaching and instructing all Moorish Americans, etc., because this is universal. The key of civilization was and in the hands of the Asiatic nation, the Moorish, who were ancient Moabites and the founders of the holy city of Mecca. And if you check back a couple of broadcasts ago, I showed y'all where the so-called government of the United States showed in their record, go look it up, Library of Congress, House Joint Resolution 0930. You can Google it. It's telling you who the Aboriginal people here in America is, Moorish Americans, and it's telling you we were the founders and the possessors of the present Moroccan Empire, Moorish Americans. The key of civilization was in the hands of the Asiatic nations, the Moorish, who were ancient Moabites, and the founders of the holy city of Mecca, the Egyptians, who were the Hammatites. Notice, all of these are Moors. All of these are Asiatics, Moors. Telling you who the Egyptians was. They were the Hammatites. So if Moors are the descendants of Moabites, Canaanites, and Hammatites, Hittites, Cushites, Amorites, and Amalekites, they're telling you who the government was at that time. If the Egyptians, the pharaohs that were sitting on the throne, they were the Hammatites. Ham is the father nation. Ham and Cush, the dividing of the land, which I'm going to touch on. But Hammatites is the father nation. That's why they was the governors, the Egyptians. They're still Moors. Moorish, Egyptians, they Moabites, Canaanites, Hammatites. They're all the same people, the Asiatic people. These people that they keep falsely referring to as black people, which they are not, because we're not pale. And it says, The Egyptians, who were the Hamites and a direct descendant of Mizraim, which was the original name of Egypt. It was Mizraim, then it became Hikupta, then the colonists started calling it Egypt. The Arabians, the seed of Hagar, the Japanese and Chinese. The Hindus of India, the descendants of ancient Canaanites, Hittites, and Moabites of the land of Canaan. The Asiatic nation of North, South, and Central America. The Moorish Americans, not the black people, the Moorish Americans, that is your bloodline. And the Mexicans, see how he's naming people? He's not calling them a color. He's not confused about what bloodline is. And they thinking it's something that he made up when we're showing the records that they know that this is not something that he made up. He went and retrieved it and brought it back to the minds of us. Some of us are growner than others and can accept facts. Some can't. And Mexicans of North America, Brazilians, Argentinians, and Chileans in South America, Colombians, Nicaraguans, and the natives of San Salvador and Central America, etc. All of these are what? Muslims, not Muslim, Muslim, which means mom's limbs. We are a mother's sons. We're mothers and sons. That's what Masonry is. My son. Is the study of. Masonry is Moorish science. Moorish science is human creation and human conduction. The Turks are the true descendants of Hagar, who are the chief protectors. And when they're saying the Turks, don't think of the people that you see from Turkey today. Don't think of the people from Mexico that you see today. Don't think of the people that you see from Egypt today. Don't think of the people from Arabia that you see today. These are the people that look like you and I. That's why they're uncovering all these pictures. And everybody's mad now. Talk about, oh no, that don't mean everybody know what's up. The original people on this earth wasn't no people called black people. They was Moorish people. That is the bloodline of these people that they keep hiding. This is why we showing the records. The Turks are the true descendants of Hagar, who are the chief protectors of the Islamic creed of Mecca, beginning from Muhammad I, the founding of the uniting of Islam. See, he's associated with the founding of the uniting of Islam, but the science of Islam, those principles of Islam, those principles of I, self, law, am, master, have always been there. They apply to every being that steps foot on this earth, that comes out their mother's womb. Those principles apply because you are you. That makes you I. You're yourself. That makes you yourself. Law. The divine law is no human being can enter this planet without coming through the womb of a woman. We didn't come from no man's rib. We came from the womb of a woman that you still see today. That's why it's called not Kemet, Kem At, Ma'at, the laws of Ma'at, which is 42. It's not Kemet. It don't mean black land. Black didn't come into the language into the 1100s. You're talking millions of years of history. The word black didn't exist. These scholars keep lying. They're not even scholars. They're pseudo. They're COINTELPRO operatives. All you got to do is go read the King Alfred plan. The CIA, the FBI, all of them exposing them, telling you that these people are COINTELPRO. And it says, beginning with Muhammad I, the founding of the uniting of Islam by the great command of the great universal God Allah. And for those, again, that don't know what Allah means, he's not talking about a sky god. All, A-L-L, ah, breath, life. So anything living is Allah. That's why it's one human race. And we're made in the image of Allah. So you're made in the image of your mother and father. Now, before I go, I'm gonna where is it? Read what I was talking about. And this is chapter 47. Egypt, or Hikupta, or Mizraim, the capital empire of the dominion of Africa. And know that at one point, this whole planet was called Africa. And even before it was called Africa, it was called Amexem. And even before Amexem, it was called Asia, named after the first being on the planet. A woman. The inhabitants of Africa are the descendants of the ancient Canaanites from the land of Canaan. Old man Cush, which is the Cushites, and his family are the first inhabitants of Africa that came from the land of Canaan. So when they talking about Africa, when they're talking about he came from the land of Canaan, that mean they came from over here and they went over there. When they crossed that river before the great earthquake, which separated the land masses, they was called the Ibri, which is falsely referred to as the Hebrew. They had the Yehudi or the Yahudi teachings, which y'all falsely call the Jewish teachings. Ibri or Hebrew is not a language, it's not a people. It's an action that these Moors did when they crossed the river to the other side. They was known as the Ibri. And they took the Jews, the Yahudi, over there with them and spread it over there to the east, which it started over here in the west. His father, Ham, and his family were second. See, they went second, but they was where? Over here in the west. Egypt. Hamatites, they just told you, the prophet just told you, the Egyptians are the Hamatites. Where is the original Egypt? Everybody should be able to know that by now, that it's here in America. If you don't, go look it up. They got Europeans, Asiatics exposing it on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Just, you can even Google it, what's Egypt in America, and it'll pull up the old information. Probably some misconstrued, but it'll give you enough to let you know that it was here. So the Hamatites was here. Ham, the father nation, is here. This is why everybody wants to come to America. Why you think they made that movie, Coming to America? Where did he come from? The east, back to the west. To find who? His bride, his wife, his mother, Ma and son. The father Ham and his family were second. Then came the word Ethiopia, which is not a people or a language, which means the demarcation line. So it's meaning the borderline of the dominion of Amexem, which is now called Africa in America, because they was all one landmass. The first true and divine name of Africa is Amexem, and that's where you get those big rock heads called the Old Mex, because New Mexico was called Old Amexem, and Mexico went all the way up to Khalifa, which is California. So think about it. And they're telling you they was occupied first by these people that look like you and I. And when you go to Mexico, when you look at those dark complected Mexicans, those are the indigenous people. Those are our brothers and cousins. The first dividing of the land between father and son. So when you go to church, for my Christian Moors, and the ones that go to these synagogues and mosques and everything else, when they're giving you the half-ass story of Ham and Cush, this is the real story that they removed. I know it's hard for you to believe, but everybody know that they removed books. Then when the prophet retrieved the books and bring them back to the minds of the people, now everybody's scared. But the only people that are scared is the people who can't accept the truth, because everybody else has this information. That's how they're able to go to these secret lodges and clubs and think they got something over on us when we're out here as Moors with it. I just was talking to my Asiatic homeboy. He asked me, was I a Shriner? I said, no, I'm a Moor. You'll never see a Shriner with a plain fez. And they won't wear theirs out openly unless it's some type of parade or something. But they don't wear theirs openly out every day in the public on display, clean and pure, like these Moors are, because we're the pure bloods. And like I said, nobody can prove me wrong. Go look up any Masonic order, man and female, Asiatic and European, and ask yourself, why does all of them wear the Moorish fez if they don't know that we all are Moors? They're not wearing no fez talking about ancient black people. No, they're wearing the fez because they know they come from these ancient Moabites, Canaanites, Hamatites, Amorites, Amalekites, Cushites, and Hittites. The 7 original bloodlines, 7 holy seas, 7 continents. 777. Okay. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa. So the east part of the world is the suns. He's telling you. He's giving you the coordination. Nobody else has done this. None of these sellout scholars have done this. And this is the 1920s. But they won't talk about this in the 20s. They'll talk about his partner, Marcus Garvey, honest to him, because him and the prophet was friends. They try to get you to believe that they, people like that went and you know what I'm saying, like partnership with each other. But that's why the prophet said some of my good Moors are still in the church. He was talking about Marcus Garvey. But what did Marcus Garvey say in his final lessons? The Asiatic will never be satisfied until what? He learns his nationality. For all my Garveyites, y'all never talk about that part when the Marcus Garvey is talking about nationality. Just like all of my people that are 5%ers and all that, that's talking about El Malik and all of them. Why you think he changed his title to El Malik El Shabazz? He know that he's Moorish. Come on, man. It's not hard. This is why we've showed the people. But they want to fight with us like these pastors ain't lying. And they know they are. They still sitting up there in the church, putting money in the collection plate like you got no other choice. Ain't no gun to your head. The dominion of Cush, northeast and southeast Africa, and northwest and southwest was his father. Northwest Africa is North America. This is why we're showing you. Go look at the map on Google when all the landmass was connected, and look where Mauritania, Morocco, Tunis, and all that is right there at North America. This is why I keep saying, when you look at the map, everywhere else on the map, the landmass name is there. But then you get to North America, it only says the U.S. or the United States. When we keep showing you the United States is not a landmass. It is absolutely a corporation. You could go look it up. Under the United States Codes 28 subtitle 3002. It'll clearly tell you the U.S. or the United States is a federal corporation. This is why we showing, as I'm going to show again, next broadcast, the Tripoli Treaty, Article 11, the first sentence. Obama read the Treaty of Tripoli, but he didn't read the absolute first sentence. The first sentence says, as the government of the United States is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion. Why? Because all of the laws that founded the Constitution with those 7 articles, Circle 7, along with the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 25 articles, 2 plus 5 is 7. Look at the Moorish Zodiac Constitution, those 7 articles, honest to the master teacher C.M. Bay, who kept it alive, who restored it. That's registered in their Library of Congress. This is why we're showing you. And it says, in later years, many of their brethren from Asia, which that's the whole world, Asia and the Holy Lands joined them. Why was it called the Holy Lands? Because this world, your bloodline, divine. That's why he named it a holy, divine, and national movement, because your nationality is divine. It's God-given. Can't nobody change it. They only hid it from your mind, which is why the rest of the world keep looking at our people crazy, and which y'all keep writing off as racism. Oh, they racist, which is only one race, the human species, which y'all keep calling racism. They're signaling to you that you're in dishonor. The reason they just don't come flat out and tell you, hey man, you're not black, you're a Moor, because they know that you're not ready to accept it. You won't even accept it from Moors, your own people that are trying to tell you that we're Moors, showing you that we're Moors. So how you going to accept it from another nationality? They know that you'll try to fight them. They know that you'll try to bring harm to them. So they just, hey, if they won't listen to their own people telling them, who are we? You see what I'm saying? But like the prophet said, as I'm going to finish, I'm going to show you. And it says, the Moabites from the land of Moab, which was originally here in America, who received permission from the pharaohs of Egypt to settle and inhabit northwest Africa. They were the founders and are the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. Remember, I just told you in that last broadcast, when you go look up the House Joint Resolution 0930, and they're telling you the Moorish Americans are the Aboriginal, and the Moorish Americans are the founders and the true possessors of the present Moroccan Empire. So those people over there in what they call Morocco today are not the original Moroccans, and they know it. I talked to them at work. They don't even call it Morocco. They call it Marrakesh. With their Canaanite, Hittite, Amorite brethren who sojourn from the land of Canaan seeking new homes. Their dominion and inhabitation, giving you the coordinates, extended from northeast and southwest Africa across the Atlantis, that thing that sunk, which separated the continents, even until the present North, South, and Central America, and also Mexico and the Atlantis Islands before the great earthquake, which caused a great Atlantic Ocean. Who's giving you coordinates like that? Because he's not just up here saying, oh yeah, they Moors because they come from this. He gave you not only their descendancy, he gave you their genealogy, and he gave you the dominion, their habitat. So it's no confusion on how we all Moors, or the Moors only came from here, or the Moor. No, he's telling you Moors are the whole world. The first people on this planet. When they're talking about the original man, this the black man. No, the original man is the Moorish man, and it's really the Moorish woman. This is why they had the picture of the prophet coming out the water holding up the woman, because mother is asleep right now. That's why you see so many of our females running around, hair fried up, all type of colors, nails all looking all type of ways, body even now looking all type of ways. But then these the same females that'll tell a man they're real females, and then they'll put all these stipulations on a relationship. And when a man is telling you that you have a delusional mindset, you getting mad like he's telling you something wrong, when you won't even sit down and analyze yourself fully. Forget the beauty, forget that you have a, round behind. Think about, your inner character, because that's what this brings out. That's why so many people are scared of it, because it brings out the true inner character, right or wrong. And it causes you to change your character for the good. This is why he said the higher self and lower self. You need to know of your good and evil, your God and devil side. Why you think it's called devil? Because it's lived spelled backwards. Allah means all life. You're not living if you're not Allah. You're the devil. You're in a dead status, which is why black magic was used on you to get you to call yourself what? Black, which means evil, sinister. It don't mean a people. And then when you look at the origin of it, it absolutely means pale and albino. And who is the people that's been colonizing, committing so much evil on this planet? See what I'm saying? Everywhere they go, they'll convince you that the Moors enslaved their own people. No, we didn't. We didn't enslave our own. We went to war with some of our own because of the mistakes that they was doing, was messing up the unity and the harmony of the earth. Just like we're doing today. We battling these sellouts amongst us. That's keep lying, promoting our people as black, but then on the back end, they claiming their Moorish nationality in secret, and you can't understand how they got all this money. And then you can't understand how they drop these little hints in their music, their videos, and y'all keep talking about that's Illuminati, which Illuminati means the enlightened ones. That's what the name Hue meant, not H-U-E, but H-U, which means light. So to be a human being, you must be enlightened on who you are. And who you are is this, not a black person. You're not a color. You're a human being like everybody else. And it says, their dominion and habitation. Oh, I already read that. Excuse me. The river Nile was dredged and made by the ancient pharaohs of Egypt, the Hammatites. The pharaohs, the ruling power, in order to trade with the surrounding kingdoms. This is how we had finance. This is how we were still connected with each other. Because it didn't matter what side of the world we was looking at. So when they're telling you the Africans was the first ones to travel, they're telling you we're all the same people. So yes, we was the first one to travel everywhere on the world. And these places was, like he said, the river Nile was dredged, just like the other thing, the Atlantic was dredged so that we can trade with each other. And if you look at the coordination of the Nile and the Atlantic, it's made in a cross-like shape. All four gates, north, east, west, and south, which is where you get that term news from. That's where you get the symbol of the cross from, which the original symbol was the Ankh, which represents the uterus, the fallopian tubes, and the birth canal, representing the birth of humanity coming through the womb of who? The mother. It's simple. Masonry is Moorish science. Again, Moorish science is human creation and human conduction. And it says, hold on, lost my place for a second. Okay. Oh, also the Niger River, which is where you get the term Niger, troglodyte nigger, or Niger, or where you, when they're talking about we black people niggers, which is absolutely a chimpanzee, which means pale, dark in color, is colorless. Niger River was dredged by the great pharaohs of Egypt in those ancient days for trade, and it extended eastward from the river Nile and westward across the great Atlantic. It was used for trade and transportation. See what I'm saying? So when they're telling you Mansa Musa, which he wasn't the first, when they was going around trading gold and all of these metals for fruits and veggies, this is why you see the same foods and spices and herbs on both sides of the planet, similar. You go to Mexico and then you go to the continent of Africa and go to some of the nation states over there, you'll see the same spices and herbs. Also, you'll see some of the same cultural dances, writing, literature, and everything, because it's all one landmass. According to all true divine records of the human race, there he is telling you, the human race, there is no Negro, black, or colored race attached to the human family, because all the inhabitants of Africa were and are of the human race, the descendants of the ancient Canaanite nation from the holy land of Canaan, which is here in America. What your ancient forefathers were, you are today without doubt or contradiction. See what I'm saying? Because nobody can change your bloodline. They only hid the information about it. This is why they be telling that story of, oh, if they ever wake up, because this is what you're waking up to. If you ever figured out that you was never the descendants of slaves, that you was the descendants of rulers who forgot that you was rulers. That's the only reason we're in this position, because we forgot that we was rulers. It had nothing to do with slavery, because really and truly the story is told backwards. Go look it up. Who were the slaves? The Slavics, these pale-faced Europeans. They was the slaves. People from Polish, people from Ireland, people from England, people from Britain. They was the slaves. The Scotland, the Dutch, all of them was coming over here in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And then go look up the case laws. Look up a law dictionary of free white people, and it's telling you that these Caucasians are not white people. They didn't start calling themselves white till 1871. There is no one who is able to change man from his descendant nature of his forefathers unless his power extends beyond the great universal creator Allah himself. See what I'm saying? So what God made you to be is who you are. Nobody can tell you not no more. That's like going to a Mexican, knowing that they're Mexican and saying, nah, you ain't Mexican. You don't see nobody doing that. You don't see nobody telling Asian, oh, you ain't no Asian. You ain't Chinese. That's like, you see what I'm saying? You know how much of a war that'll start? So then when they see Moors doing the things that we doing, even amongst these sellouts amongst us, they want to see, that's all the Moors about. Y'all stay in, fight, stay time. No, we're cleaning up the dirt. These holy and divine laws dealing with the divine law. I told you what the divine laws are from the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Assasalmilakum, the founder of the Uniting of the Moorish Science Temple of America, which he was the first founder of the old Canaanite temple in 1913. Then, 1925, he changed the name to the Moorish Holy Temple of Science. Then in 1928, he changed it again to the Moorish Science Temple of America. And really it's two of them, because the Moorish Holy Temple of Science is still there. That's the national side. The divine side is the Moorish Science Temple of America. The religious side, where we can have religious freedom. So it don't just apply to just Islam. It applies to Yahudi. It applies to Christianity. Religion is your religion freedom, but your bloodline stays the same. You don't see all Chinese being Buddhists or monks. You see what I'm saying? They all have different beliefs. All people from the continent of Africa are not all Jews, or they're not all Islamic. They have different beliefs, just like we do. But y'all try to associate Moors with Islam only. Oh, that Moor, that was applied to them Muslims. No, they wasn't. They was applied to what the prophet showed you: Hamitites, Moabites, Canaanites. These laws are to be strictly preserved by the members of the temples of the Moorish Science Temple of America, that they will learn to open up their meetings and guide it according to the principles of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Every subordinate temple of the Grand Major Temple is to form under the covenant of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and to create their own laws and customs in coordinates with the laws of the Holy Prophet and the Grand Temple one. And The hold on, the great wait. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Assasalmilakum, was sent by the great God Allah to warn all Asiatics of America to repent from their sinful ways. And when they're saying sinful, they mean ignorance, lack of knowledge ways. Change your ways. Learn who you are and you'll change your ways. Before that great, hold on. Yeah, before that great and awful day is sure to come. The time has come when every nation must worship under their own vine and fig tree, and every tongue must confess his own, which means, who are you? What is your, like, yeah, your religion is one thing, but who are you as a person? You don't see nobody else in the world having that problem. I'm Mexican and I'm a Christian. Okay. You see what I'm saying? I'm Asian and I'm Buddhist. Okay. I'm Moorish and I'm Islamic. Through sin, through ignorance and disobedience, every nation has suffered slavery due to the fact that they honored not the creed and principles of their forefathers. That is why the what? Not the religion, but the nationality of the Moors was taken away from them in 1774, which nobody can take your nationality away. They're telling you they removed the history. And the word Negro, black, and colored were given to the Asiatics of America who were of what? Moorish descent, because they honored not the principles of their mothers and father and strayed after the gods of Europe, of whom they knew nothing. You see what I'm saying? That's what you see in our people today. They sitting up in these churches, my synagogues, and they are part of all these clubs and everything. But when you ask them the origin of things, or you ask them the knowledgeable thing, they'll just make something up in their mind. They won't go to no dictionary or nothing. Even when somebody say, what are you? Oh, I'm black. But then none of them can show you in a dictionary and qualify that they are black. You see what I'm saying? And then when you say I'm black and don't say I'm Moorish, you're not saying where you come from, because everybody on this planet is named after the places that they come from. That's why their lands is called the motherland, because they come from their mother. And most all land masses, especially the original ones, was named after females. They was named after women, because even the original spelling of Morocco was M-A-R, Ma-Rocco. My rock of salvation. Okay. Why you said salvation. All this for this is what all Asiatics must depend on for their earthly salvation, right? Okay. He said, and I'm gonna go back to the prophecies and show y'all what I was talking about when I was saying a lot of them coming true. And he said, let me see where it said. Okay. It's number 57. Sister A. Brown H. of Temple 4 and 25 said that the prophet told the Moors, watch the newspapers and listen to the radio. I am going to make the European tell the truth. Now, if you fast forward to modern time, when you looking at the TV, when you seeing the stuff that Trump is saying, when you seeing the stuff that Putin is saying, a lot of people can't comprehend it because they've been under this black spell all of this time. They are not ready. A lot of them are not mentally ready to be told the full truth, but they need it in order to clean things up. So when they're showing you these pictures, they're not the original bishops. They're not original black people. They're Moorish people. You see what I'm saying? When they going and pulling up these documents now of what they call the dark-skinned Indians, who are really Moors, which you can go Google it, In 1621, they changed the name Moorish to Indian. In 1621, that's documented. You could go Google it. Simple as day. And they don't even hide it. It's just, are you willing to look up the truth and the facts? It says, and then also, you could go to YouTube. You could go type in different Europeans talking about Moors, and they'll be telling you the truth. You got Dr. Narco Largo, which the old world down in Florida. You got Peter Moon. You got Rick Smith. You got other Europeans on there. You even got European Masons telling you that Moorish science is the highest science when you get to the highest point of masonry. You're getting into Moorish science because that's where it all comes from. That's why in every lodge they bear the Moorish fez. They know this Moorish fez represents the birth of humanity, and it's not a hat, it's a crown. And it says, I am due in number 60. The Holy Prophet told the Moors, I am due in the east right now. I am going to have to go and straighten out the east. Ain't that what we're seeing? So when you seeing the wars of Palestine and Israel and things that are going over there on the continent of Africa, this is what he's doing. His spirit is over there. Then I will end up in the west. The west over here will be the easiest. You will be able to be down and sleep and wake up in peace. This will be just a breakfast fight. By the time you eat breakfast, it will be all over with. You see what I'm saying? So this is why Moors are pushing hard, because the paradigm has shifted to where more and more people are waking up. I just had a talk. No lie. I just had a talk with 3 young Asiatic brothers. You know, they posted up on the block doing their little thing. But for a whole hour, they stopped what they was doing and let me get them information. And I mean, they really was in tune, listening, asking questions and all that. And that right there is what needs to be done, taking it to the hedges and highways. Even when I showed them in real time, and this happened to me a lot when I'm teaching people, especially out here in the wilderness. Sometimes people need that extra sign from Allah to show them that this is for real. As I'm telling them that a lot of these sellouts, they know this truth, but they won't tell it because it'll uncover the fraud that they're doing. They'll run away from it. Elder Asiatic come up, listen to me, what he's telling the Moor. He gonna ask me, oh, what you is? I said, I'm Moorish American. He said, oh, Lord. He like, let me get on away from here. But he telling the youngsters, he's like, listen to him, though. He know what he talking about. He right. And the youngsters was just laughing. The one of them, he was like, see? He was like, bro, he was like, you just was telling us that. He was like, man, that was the sign right there. This for us to know that this for real. And see, that's what we got to do as Moors. We can't be afraid to get out here amongst our people and speak the truth. You know what I'm saying? You ain't running up on people. Hey, let me stop you. Let me show you this. Most of the time when you out here fezed and turped up, especially in my territory, Charlotte, North Carolina, and I'm going to say it again live for the world. I'm the only Moor out here in this territory of Charlotte, North Carolina that walks around openly everywhere. Clubs, court, work, everywhere. Family events, anywhere. So any social event, basketball game, football game, anywhere. Dealing with anybody, fezed and turban up. That's how I'm known. When I'm one day, everybody pull up and I knew that was you because I seen the fez on. Everybody know me in the city of Charlotte for wearing this. You know what I'm saying? They don't see no other Moors. I get asked the question every day. Or every other day, why they ain't got no temple out here? Because most of these Moors have sold us out. It takes a pure heart. Like I said, you can teach this knowledge, but you can't teach people the pureness of heart. Your heart has to really be about yourself and people. You know what I'm saying? And no, you can't save everybody. This is not a I'm trying to go save the world type of mindset. We already know that, but as many as you can wake up, you wake up. This is why the lower self told what? The higher self, I'm going to devour as many people as I can before it's over with, because they know the lower self has no strength over the higher self. Once you get in your higher mind, your lower self is done. But it wants to devour as much as years off of your life, so that by the time you realize it, you old and gray and can't do nothing about it. The time to get it is now, when you're young and you can put it to use. You see what I'm saying? You don't need to get it on your deathbed. Why would you want to get it on your deathbed? And then you done been under a dead status. So all you surrounded by is death. But then when you want to live, this is where you go. Because more actually means light. It doesn't mean black. More means light. It means life force. More science means life. Life science. And like I said, human creation and human conduction, that's how it's an applied science. Every time a life is created on this planet, that's more science being conducted. Those principles are being handed down to that child. But the problem is, when it comes to the Asiatics, especially of North America, the key ingredients that's missing is their nationality and divine creed. This is why they came up with that 3/5 clause, because you're missing the other two components, which makes you the 5. You know, like the star on our flag, which represents Mother Venus, the holy day. This is why Friday is the holy day, because it was the day that man was formed in the flesh, and on the Friday he departed out of the flesh. You see what I'm saying? Came out the womb of his mother. And on the 7th day they rested, which is the Sabbath. Flip the camera again. I'm going to read over some more of these. And this right here is one of my favorite, because this is the problem, that what's wrong with a lot of these people. He says, Brother J. Blakely Bay said that the prophet said, it will take 50 years to find out what I brought you. And if you are not careful, 50 years after I'm gone, you won't know that I have been here. See what I'm saying? See why he knew that was going to happen? Then you fast forward, because I listened to the master teachers, honor to the master teacher Taj, Hakeem Bey, Ras Mariah Bey, when they started in the 80s. Then you rewind from the time of Prophet Noble Drew Ali Parcher, 1929, and then you fast forward 50 years, that's going to the 80s. So from the 1929 all the way up to the 80s, people didn't take Moorish science serious. They thought it was some religious club, just like they do today. They think it's a religious club, when we keep showing you it's nationality. How can you take somebody's bloodline and associate it with religion, but don't do it to nobody else? It's because they scared of the fact that they know they're going to have to change some things. You're going to have to give up some things. You don't have to be holier than thou to claim your bloodline, but you have to recognize it, and you have to stand for principles when people are trying to violate those principles, calling you Negro, black, and colored. That's a violation of the universal law. This is why the prophet said, the holy prophet told the Moors, I brought you something that you can shout about. You see what I'm saying? Because now there's no shame in it. You know who you are. It feels good to have a conversation with other nationals when they telling you, oh, I'm Mexican, I'm Asian. What are you? I'm Moorish. Oh, I know about Moorish, and da 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 da. You see what I'm saying? But then you just say I'm black. Oh, okay. There's no history behind that. And they know that means dead. Silver little mortus. That's a dead status. They know that you're not mentally grown yet. So you listen to all these so-called scholars like your Umars, your Fraudicons, and the rest of them. They keep on giving you little hints of Moors, but then they'll go back to the black stuff. And the people sitting there can't comprehend it. When he said openly in front of all these followers, who was the first one teaching Islam? Prophet Noble Drew Ali. So if I'm down with Islam, let me go check these teachings and see what he really was about. Then you'll see that he was really about national principles, civics, not religion. It was only 1 year of religion, which he didn't even see the full year because they killed him off. You see what I'm saying? But he knew that they would try to bury it. That's why he said they thought he was a joke and unreal. Let's read some of these right here. He says, one day, blood is going to flow in the streets up to a horse's brow. You see what I'm saying? This is why everybody is scared, because they know that this truth is coming out. They know people like Trump is about to expose all that stuff. They know Moors have been exposing it, and other people are going to come keep exposing it. And it's an awakening going on. And those that refuse to wake up, they're going to be destroyed right along with the rest of the people. When you read these stories of Sodom and Gomorrah, Sodomites and Moabites, you see what I'm saying? That was the original Moors creating these offshoots of human people that's not supposed to be on the planet. And once they start mixing with them, it offset the harmony of the planet. That's why Sodom, the Sodomites, and Gomorrah, the Moabites, the Moors, were destroyed back then. Just like they're mixing and doing today. That's why the prophet said every nation suffers slavery, because you're not following your own thing. Then he says, one day bombs are going to fall so that they won't miss a spot as wide as my shoe. He said that you are going to need a basement to hide in. And this is what they preparing. Don't y'all see all these talks about all this nuclear and this plutonium and all of that stuff? Because they're trying to nuke the people that refuse to wake up, because it's offset in the harmony of the world. And what do you do with a people who's arrogant in their ignorance? You have to kill them off. But this is why Moors are trying to save as many of our people as they can. Then he says, hold on. Let me find something else that. Okay. Show y'all again. This one. Brother I. Cook Bay, Grand Governor of Illinois, said that the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Assasalmilakum, told the Moors that the Europeans went to the Moroccan government, that's the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, and asked for permission to come over here to North America to develop this land called the United States. That DC, Washington, DC, those 10 miles. That who was divined by who? When they went to the Moroccan government, they went to Benjamin Banneker Bey, who designed Washington, who was a Moor. This is why I showed y'all the Benjamin Banneker letter to to Thomas Jefferson, and why George Washington had to write a letter to the Sultan of Morocco, talking about doing business with his dominions. Where's his dominions? Morocco, here, North America. But they was trying to underline the Moorish government, overthrow it, which they eventually did. Because these Moors went to sleep, they stepped down. And they were given a 50-year mandate to do so. This is the treaty. Then the Europeans went to an old sheikh. This is when they revised it in 1836 and asked him to give them some people to help them develop this land. The sheikh told them to take those Moors because they are not going to do anything. By that time, you Moors had gave up your birthright. That's why the prophet said in 1774, the nationality was taken away. They started removing you from those seats and everything. And by 1836, you was claiming to be Negroes, blacks, and coloreds, and all of this and that. That's why he said they wasn't going to do anything, just like they not today. You seeing our people getting beat up by these highwaymen. They want to stand there with a phone recording it. But then these the same ones that'll pull out a firearm on you, threaten your life with it, but won't shoot the colonists that is here. And yes, these people that are walking around with badges, whether they're Asiatic or European, they are colonists. They have no right to be out there because they have no delegation of authority order. Go look up what a delegation of authority order is. They do not have one. That's why when you ask them for it, they get quiet. They want to start covering up their badge. And it says, for the people that keep thinking that we didn't inhabit the Garden of Eden, when the wild beasts, which is these dinosaurs, roamed the earth in large numbers, and you can hear the large birds flapping their wings at a long distance, it was who? The Moors that took the sword, those scimitars. This is why you see on the Masonic fezzes, them have the scimitar, that sword of justice, and went and slayed the beast so that civilization could come in. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't just no Tarzans around the time of dinosaurs. It was civilization. Time never was when man was not. Look, for the people that think he was just about religion, he said, how would you like to have your own mayor and chief of what? Police? Because we need protection in our communities, but from our government, not from no colonist government. And they're de facto, which means they're there, but they are not officially sanctioned. This is why, again, they have no delegation of authority order. They're not even supposed to be out there. He even said it again. The membership is going to dwindle down to a handful, but keep the doors open. You see what I'm saying? This is why you don't see, like I said, when the people keep asking, oh, why ain't no temple down here? Because they sold out. But I'm still out here doing what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? Because the more people I wake up, I will get the charter. But like Grand Sheik told me, don't worry about the charter yet until you get enough people, because you don't want to invest in something that's going, you know what I'm saying, go underwater. I will drive the Asiatics in. The Holy Prophet said, when I drive the Asiatics in, it's going to take 10 secretaries just to write the names down. Brother Jay Blakeney Bay said, the Holy Prophet said, when I raise my floodgate, it's going to take 16 secretaries to write down the names. Why? Because the floodgates is when this stuff finally hit the fan, and you start seeing people going haywire and stuff, and they want to spill the truth, and that blood is being spilled in the streets. That, I bet you them people would be wanting to claim it then. Just like he said, our people only claim stuff they only do stuff at the point of a sword. See? For the people, like I was telling you, we're the original Turks. Bro, T. Booker Bay, Grand National Treasurer, said that when at a meeting where the Holy Prophet was present, he saw 10 Arabians, 5 Turks, and 2 Chinese and 1 Japanese join the Moorish Science Temple of America. Know that one of those 5 Turks was, or Arabian was, who they now call Master Farad Muhammad, who at that time was David Fard El. and one Japanese joined the Moorish Science Temple of America. And the secretary asked the Holy Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Prophet, these people have got their nationality. What should I put on their nationality card? The Prophet said, the Moors were the first people. I'm going to say that again for these people that keep talking about the original people, the black people. The Moors were the first people. And all other people that use our name were adopted into our tribe. So all of these people now called Arabians, Turks, Chinese, Japanese, and all of them, they're descendant of who? As I showed you in chapter 45. The prophet is right on point. This is why they never told you about him. Like he said, why you won't hear about him, because this is where the truth lies. He was the only one that stood up and told our people the truth, and not just speak it, showed us, left the literature for us. Like this one. I placed a ball on Babylon, which is what we're seeing in America, and it is rolling down. And anyone that gets in its way is going to be ground into powder. You're going to be ground to powder. You see what I'm saying? Like, that means that it's going to be over for you. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. It's going to be over for you. Like he keep telling these Asiatics, you tore up everything that was brought to you. But I brought you something that you can't tear up. It will tear you up. You see what I'm saying? This is why these dirty Moors that think they getting away with all these fraud, a lot of them don't show you. A lot of them are suffering right now. A lot of them are suffering. That's why they need a new victim that they can sink their vampire teeth in and suck on their blood. An innocent person trying to wake up. They trying to drain them. This is why they hate Moors like us, because the Moors like us, we're out here showing the people the true facts and documents free of charge, because it is our duty. We care about ourselves, we care about our children and the rest of our loved ones and our people. If there ain't nobody else gonna help our people, who will? You know what I'm saying? Like he said, I am going to leave the European here just long enough to teach you how to run a government. Because these people lost their way. They stepped down, and since 1774, they lost their way on how to run the government. They forgot that they are the government. Your forefathers, just 200 years was running this government. 200 years ago, your forefathers was running this government. So I think I'm going to stop right there. It's over 200 of them. Oh, let me show you the title of the book. RV Bay Publications, or you can go on khalifamedia.com and you can find this literature. Or you can get all three of the books, the Circle 7 Quran, the Red Book, and the Moorish literature. All of those are combined in this one book. I have all three of the other books too, but I got this one because when I travel, sometimes I don't like to carry all the books with me. So I got this one that has all of them in it, where I can flip through real quick and go into different parts at one time. So I'll be coming back probably next week or maybe 2 weeks from now. And like I said, I'm going to pull up that Treaty of Tripoli, and I'm going to go into some more of the prophecies, and I'm going to go into some more of the literature to connect the minds of the people, to show what the prophet was really trying to do, was trying to reestablish the information about who we are as a people in our mind. Because once you understand who you are, it's not to regain your mind to go out here and kill and maul somebody. Because once you understand who you are, you'll realize you're the pinnacle. You don't have to lay a finger on somebody. They want to lay fingers on you, but like I keep telling people, this word Moor come with a spirit. That's why even the people who are Moors, most of them can't even speak it, because they under that black magic spell. They under that black spell. They have the black mind. They can't speak life. They only can speak death. which is why they like this lower self music, that lower chakra stuff. But honest to the cosmic mothers, since they want to say National Women's Month, we honor mothers each and every day because we know who we are. We know that we are your sons. We know that we come from your limbs. That makes us Muslims. Honest to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Assasalmilakum, all the master teachers, Taj Tariq Bey, Hakeem Bey, Dr. Aleem El Bey, Ras Mariah Bey, Mother Anee El, Brother Nature Bey, you know what I'm saying? All the Moors that on Canaanland Moors channel, Grand Sheik Cujo, my brother Kush Day, you know what I'm saying? All us out here that's out here teaching, man. You know what I'm saying? Brother Yusuf El, all these Moors that's out here trying to wake the people up and open the minds of the people to the real truth. Not for no finance, but for the heart, the pureness of heart, to see that love be restored in our land and amongst us as a people. Islam. Allah is the Father of the universe. Allah is the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, and my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Assasalmilakum. Islam. Islam, Moors. Study, study, study. Shalom and Habu.